Drip the flow. Party every weekend, but still like to smoke at home. Here I am.
What's up? What's up, Simbo? What's going on? What's going on, baby? What's good? What's good? Everything is gravy, brother.
We are in the building.
And we are 1 week out from D-Day, Election Day. What y'all know about voting out there? Y'all ready? Have y'all done early voting? Are you all ready to cast away the past? I heard I ain't going back. I heard we ain't going back. I heard when we fight, we win. I heard when we vote, we win. Well, I got a funny feeling and a sneaky suspicion that we are on to something. Simeon, is it looking any better in your community, brother, this week for early voting? Last week you said it looked like no souls at the polls.
Well, I'll say it looks like the people are finally starting to come out. People are waking up and getting ready as they should, because we have to do our part. I'm telling you right now, this racism and this what's going on in this world is ridiculous. I'm going to talk about it today. You guys know that I'm normally real chill about politics and what's going on, but I can't be silent anymore, Fly Guy. It's one of those things where, man, we have to stand up and we have to start paying attention to what's really going on. And what's going on is we have to change the narrative. And the only way we can change the narrative is to get out and vote and do our part.
And brother, I've been saying that from day one. I've been that A1 from day one, my friend. I've been saying that we have to change the narrative. We have to stay woke. We have to look at what benefits us, what is our advantage, what's our disadvantage. We have to look at all of that. We have to educate ourselves. Politics is more than going through the procedure of voting. That's the formality. But you have to look at who the judges are. You have to look at who the president is. You have to look at who's running the House, who's running the Senate, who's governing things. You have to look at if your situation should change, what would that end result look like for you?
Yeah.
Your Social Security is on the ballot.
Right.
Your health care is on the ballot. Your free will to speak and exercise your free right is on the ballot. In essence, your American citizenship is on the ballot. Now, if you don't care anything about that, I respect that. That's your choice. However, the rest of us, those that do, let's go out and vote our conscience. Don't just vote smart. That's your Fly Guy perspective.
There it is, Fly Guy, and I'm with you on that. This past weekend was great. At Kamala Harris's rally was super dope. She had some super dope people. She had Kelly Roland, she had Beyonce, she had some real heavy hitters, and it was a party. And but not just a party, but these young ladies came out there and they spoke eloquently about why you should vote for Kamala and what she stands for and what you gain to win and lose by voting for her or not voting for her. And I'm telling you right now, no man should be in place to tell a young woman what to do with her body, how to what to carry in her body, and when she should and should not. And I think Trump said something to the fact that women don't have to carry babies for 9 months. I don't know what planet he lives on, but the planet I live on and the planet you live on, women are supposed to carry a baby for 9 months, right? So it's one of those things where we have to just look at what's being going on. Let's look at the what is it, the 5 guys that were wrongly convicted.
The Central Park
Central Park 5, right? Trump said out of his mouth that they were guilty. And not only did he say they were guilty, he said that they pleaded guilty, which was a lie. These people held on to their innocence until the end. And they were even offered a plea bargain deal if they would have pled guilty, and they wouldn't do it because they said they are not pleading to guilty to something that they didn't do. And I applaud them for standing on that. And right now they are trying to sue Trump for defamation of character and slander and things like that, because he went on a national stage and said these things, and that was just not true.
And after they were innocent, he said they still should be criminalized. He still
Why?
referred to them as criminal because
Why?
what he saw was five black guys
Exactly.
that he has no sense of urgency, regard, respect for. They matter not to him. He saw them in the eyes of Jim Crow as property and not humans. And so
So they're guilty just because they're black.
because all black people are a threat to society.
Yeah.
You know that. You
But it's just
understand
and,
that.
and it really burns me up the way people just won't stand up. What to say? Hey Simeon, forget about Trump. What does what's going on, Peter? Simeon says, walk in peace and be smart. That's what Simeon says today. Be smart and walk in peace. And when you walk in peace, you are going to get away from the people that are blatant racism. It's one of those things where, and the thing that makes me mad about people, if you're an ally for racism, meaning against racism, then you need to say something. It's not enough for you to hear it and just not speak and then say, oh, that's not me, that's not what I believe. But if it's wrong, you need to say it's wrong. You need to point it out. You need to stand on it and say it with your chest and let people know that it's wrong. You can't just call people names and talk about people and think that it's okay and say, well, that's not what I believe. If you don't say anything towards it, then I believe it's what you believe.
So the conversation, as uncomfortable as it is about who Donald Trump is, has to continue. It has to continue because you have to continue to remind people. At the end of the day, this man could be reelected.
Yes.
Let's not be blind by this. Although he's done all these disparaging things and done and said some of the most incriminating things against people amongst nations, he's dehumanized the military. He's dehumanized women. He's dehumanized Haitians. He's dehumanized just recently Puerto Rico and the Latino community. He's dehumanized the LGBTQ community. He's dehumanized blacks. He's dehumanized Jews. Now I'm saying all this off the top of my head, and I said a lot. He dehumanized basically everybody in this nation. And so with that being said, as uncomfortable and as awkward as it may be to continuously hear it, for as much as people are reminded or feel that they need to be reminded that black people are a threat to society, we need to keep the conversation going about what white America looks like. That's the real threat to society. That's not only a threat to society, but that's a threat to the United States. That's a threat to the nation. That's a threat to mankind. So this conversation on Real Talk will continue as long as people give us ammunition and a conversation to go with that's current and relevant. We bring the twins current and relevant with us each and every week. And these are current and relevant topics. And you have to have those uncomfortable conversations, because if you educate yourself and research yourself on Project 2025, you'll be glad that these conversations were had.
Right
when
is
you know
right.
better, you can do better.
Right is right, wrong is wrong. And that's all I have to say. And if you want to stay healthy, make sure you take your vitamins. Take your vitamins every single day, because you got to have your health in order to be in this fight. And I'm talking about the fight of life, because when you're fighting in life, you have to deal with people, you have to deal with situations, you have to deal with so many different things. But it's one of those things where you have to be equipped. I'm appalled and I'm outdone with the things that Trump has been doing. Did you see what he did? He had that comedian, Tom Haxill,
I
or
don't know
whatever
the
his name
brother's,
is,
the
whatever his
person's
name is.
name.
But this man came on there and belittled people, Puerto Rican
Oh, he
people.
talked about the
He
black
talked
man
about
in the
black
audience.
people.
Did you see him talk about the
Yes,
black man in the audience? He said,
and
"Who is that over there? What's that's on your head?" Oh,
exactly,
we were at his house, and we were for Halloween. We were carving watermelons.
watermelons. And here's the thing, Fly Guy, Trump approved this guy, so he knew what he
Oh,
was going to
he knew
talk
what he
about.
was gonna do,
He
because
knew what he
here's
was
the
going to talk
deal:
about.
we a brand. So if you come on to an event that iHeart or Intellectual Radio is hosting for Real Talk, you mean to tell me we don't know what's expected of who we've secured to represent our brand? He knew exactly who that guy was.
He knew exactly what he's doing.
But what that man spoke is the belief of everybody. And then the vice president candidate came behind that and said, "Oh, we can't get so sensitive. We can't get so up in arms about a little signifying, and when people say things that offend us, we can't.
But
Oh,
it's
we
all
should. But
it was
you're
all
offended
against
because your lead running mate was called an insurrectionist. You were offended because he was convicted on 34 counts as a rapist and sexually assaulting women.
but all of the stuff he was talking about was against black and brown people.
Well, it was
And it was
also against Jewish people.
and Jewish people. Okay. So it's one of those things where, you're slandering people and you're putting them down and you're talking about them, and it's uncalled for. And I mean, jokes are one thing, but he was speaking truth. He was speaking his truth, how he feels. Then he talked about eating the cats and the animals and all that again. And he actually sounded like Trump.
He do, it is what it is.
Birds of a
The
feather.
only thing we can do at this point, people, is vote our conscience once again. If you don't like this conversation and this is not a topic that makes you feel warm and fuzzy, then please vote your conscience. Kamala Harris' office was vandalized in Arizona. Somebody shot up her office. Now, as things get more close to the election, we are 1 week out. More bizarre incidents are occurring. Somebody just shot up this lady's office in Arizona. Thank God no one was hurt, but the office was vandalized.
Mhm.
Her office was vandalized. And so we are continuing to empower and encourage Kamala Harris, Doug Emhoff. We're continuing to encourage the entire Harris and Waltz team, because not only is Kamala Harris experiencing the unfortunate, but Tim Waltz is as well, and we are definitely championing for Team Blue. And Beyonce did; she looked good the other day.
I'm speaking it into existence right now. Next president of the United States of America, Kamala Harris. Let's go.
Right. So, Simeon, talk to me, brother. Single life or married life? Which would you rather be?
Who comes up with this?
Married, brother.
Who comes up with this, Wanda?
Single ladies, clap your hands.
Want to talk about this? You talk about. I don't want to talk about this.
You're gonna talk about this because this is real talk.
This is your
single
topic. This is your
brother.
topic.
No, this is a real talk.
Who comes
topic.
up with this stuff, man?
Single life or married life?
It depends.
Simeon, you have had both hats.
It depends on the person. Okay, it depends on the person. If you like,
it might be somebody out there listening that's contemplating getting married, brother. Help a brother out.
If you're
single life or married life,
if you're contemplating getting married and you met the person of your dreams and that you feel you want to spend the rest of your life with, by all means, you need to do it. If that person loves you, that person takes care of you, that person is in your corner, then you need to do it. And if not, stay single. But if that person is in your corner, then you should get married.
How do you know if that person is for you? What are some signs, married man?
Some things that you can tell that the person is for you is if they support what you do, they talk to you with respect, they're in your corner, you guys do things together, and you just stay on one accord.
Okay, you can do that in just a relationship. You don't have to get married to do that.
Well, what you're not gonna do is gaslight me. You're not gonna gaslight me, fly guy.
Bro,
you asked me a question, and
there is a major, massive listening audience out there.
But
married life or single life, we have a diverse demographic. There are single
everybody
people
watching.
Listening.
If you think Fly Guy's trying to gaslight,
I ain't trying to gaslight.
Put a thumbs up, because Wanda, he just tried to gaslight.
I'm trying to help somebody. You've worn both hats. I've only worn one.
Okay.
You've been married and single.
Well, tell us about.
So which world was better for you, brother? I take single life.
I'm not doing that on national radio,
what
bro.
Difference do it make?
Because I'm not.
Your opinion.
I'm not doing it.
You got some skeletons.
I ain't got no skeletons.
Yeah, you do.
I just.
Yeah, you do. I think you got some skeletons. It's Halloween Thursday. That skull is in Simeon.
Are you my brother's keeper?
I am your brother's keeper.
You leave me alone about
this. If I wasn't your brother's keeper, I wouldn't be trying to get the truth out.
You leave me alone.
To help somebody. And
Wanda, you tell that man to leave me alone about this.
He getting caught up in his feelings.
I ain't in my feelings. I don't want to talk about this.
You gonna talk about it.
You of all people know why I don't want to talk about it. So I'm not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna talk about
single life. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Single life I find to be more advantageous. Here's the deal. When I never been married, so let me just put that disclaimer out there. But when you're single, I owe nothing to anybody other than me. That's all I got. I owe nothing. If I choose to get up and go to Jamaica tomorrow, I don't owe anybody an explanation
You can go.
as to why I'm going, what I'm doing when I'm there. When I get back, I'm back. I don't have to worry about nobody going through my phone. I don't have to worry about nobody questioning. I come and go at my leisure. I do that, which, and I'm not selfish.
So you
Now,
like your freedom.
I'm not selfish. I'm real. I appreciate my freedom, and I'm up close and front. I'm up front with that. And so I let people know, hey, this is who I am. Oftentimes, even when I was in my early 20s, you get in relationships, and I was always a party guy. I like to
You're
kick
still
it.
a party guy. What do you mean?
And that's one of the, I like to
I just
I'm
party with
I'm a
you this
social
weekend.
guy. Right. I got a network, and I enjoy the freedom and the flow of entertainment.
I
And
like that too.
so I notice in relationships, women mature a little faster than guys. I get that, and that's
True.
cool. However, I had a little bit of an energy boost for the outside world, whereas in relationships, they feel like if I met you in the joint, that don't mean that's now that we got together, I ain't going to the joint no more. You see what I'm saying? And sometimes that becomes a part of the problem. So I'm just narrowing it down for me. I'm not speaking for Simeon. I'm just speaking for the
No,
fly
you
guy.
trying to speak for me
I'm
because
speaking
I
for
try
the
to
fly
answer the
guy.
question. You wouldn't just move past it. You just gonna keep on going
No, I'm speaking for the fly guy.
with your red bottom hat
So
on.
so I say brothers and sisters, because women, y'all, like Simeon said, y'all want to be on Instagram now, and you want to be, doing you. I'll say it that way. You doing you. The average brother ain't gonna want you out there doing you. Not where other people are exposed to you doing you. So we have to think about some things, and we have to have accountability and ownership, and probably clean some things up. Now, maybe one day Fly Guy will get to that point, but right now that's not where I am. So single life is living my best life. I'm living life out loud, and I'm doing me, and
I'm
I'm
with you.
good with
I'm
that.
with you on that. I'm with
See,
you.
Simeon, that wasn't hard,
I'm
brother.
with you.
That
No,
was
that wasn't the
not
hard part. The other part
hard.
was you
That
trying
was
to
not hard
twist
at
my arm
all.
into saying some stuff I don't want to say. That's what the other hard part was.
Judicial system, international versus U.S. Now, we look at things in the U.S., y'all, we get a slap on the wrist. So we just talked a little bit about the election. We talked about some of the past, some of the present, and what we're looking forward to in the future. When we talk about the past, we look at the insurrection. We looked at immunity a couple weeks ago with Project 2025. The U.S. tends to give a slap on the wrist for a lot of conduct, a lot of criminal activity. When we look at now, a couple of things that happen. One of the things that we know, if Project 2025 gets implemented, that the people that was responsible for the insurrection are going to get immunity. Um, the judges Supreme Court, I should say, has already told Donald Trump that he's immune from any hardships. So he's got immunity. He's going to pardon the criminals. That was a domestic attack on this country, and nobody's being held responsible for it. Brittany Griner goes to Moscow and gets caught and with marijuana found on her, was in a harsh prison. She endured some really harsh experiences in there. She was cold. She ended up having to cut her locks because her hair was frozen. She had poor eating conditions. Her diet was not well kept. She went through depression naturally because she was there, but the way she was treated, she was responsible for working in a laundry facility every day out in the cold. They would put them out of the prison building in the cold every day. In addition, Leangelo Ball goes to China with UCLA's basketball team and is allegedly arrested for stealing in a Louis Vuitton store. And he was sent back to the U.S. I never heard that there was any punishment behind this. And so my point is, what is a crime that is done in the US, if any at all, that merits what happens in international countries. When we look at international countries, when I started traveling internationally, everybody always told me, be careful what you do, be careful where you go, because one thing you don't want to do is go to jail in a foreign country. The conditions are not like the US. And so when we look at the system and the legal system, I'm just not sure what could be done that merits punishment. I feel like the insurrection could have or should merit life in prison. Somebody might say that's harsh. I think Diddy should have life in prison. I think R. Kelly should have life in prison. When you create hardships that impact people for the rest of their life, the things that they did, the choices they made, those were choices that those men made. Those were choices that everybody that I just named. Now, Brittany Griner, it was stated that she didn't know what was in her bag. I've been traveling for years. I've been traveling for over 30 plus years. Every time I travel, I have always heard, pack your own bag, keep up with your own bag, watch your own bag. Has anybody ever heard that? So how is it that you don't know what's in your bag that you should have packed? Where's the responsibility and the ownership in that?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have to understand your possession is your possessions, and you have to be aware of your possessions. And it's one of those things where when you talk about the US and the international will cut your hands off. They will lock you up and they will put you away, and they don't care what your president, your government, what nobody has to say, and you will be there until they decide you're not going to be there no more, or your government makes some type of trade, bring one of their criminals back home, and you can have your person that got caught for some weed, which, a killer versus a weed smoker, and it's one of those things where you have to understand that's just how it goes. And so, yeah.
And it does, and I get that. Um, Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, and President Joe Biden had to get involved. Sherelle Griner, Brittany Griner's wife, contacted U.S. leaders, and they intervened, and it ended up being an exchange. A foreign prisoner for Brittany Griner. But I think that there's a thing called responsibility and accountability. Once again, I know you keep hearing me saying that because that's real, and we have to hold people responsible and accountable for the choices that they make. I'm not beating anybody up over the head. Right is right, wrong is wrong.
I just be glad when this damn election is over.
When it's white America being slapped on the wrist against Black America, it's a big deal made out of it.
Of course.
But a crime is a crime. That's the point I'm making. So I don't think anybody that committed any of the crimes that I just analyzed should be getting a slap on the wrist. R. Kelly wrecked the lives of so many juvenile girls as a pedophile, hanging out at Kenwood High School as an adult. And the whole issue with Aaliyah having to get a marriage annulled. I mean, what kind of choices are you? Now, you have fame and you have influence, but you choose to use it in this manner. Diddy, the same thing. You have fame and you have influence, and you chose to have what's called a freak off. You chose to be known for orgies, and now all you're known for is incriminating people. You incriminated, you in jail. So
now you're having freak offs in a pen.
Wherever you having them, it's just, we have.
Do you think he feels at home in the pen?
I don't know what he feels. I really don't. I saw a picture of him and Will Smith in a pair of boxers, and Will Smith Will Smith was supposedly embarrassed by it. I saw the picture.
I'm not doing this with
you. Yes, you are doing it. This is real talk,
I'm
brother.
not doing this with you today.
You gonna do it. Yes, you gonna do it, because
I'll be glad when the election is over. I'll be glad when Diddy's over. I'll be glad when R. Kelly is. I'm tired of all these Negroes.
You can't get tired of it, brother,
do it
because
no
it's news. It's news, partner.
It's news that you
don't
cannot
have to like
use.
it. You don't have to like it, but you can't avoid it. You cannot
If
avoid
y'all
it.
haven't noticed, Fly Guy loves drama.
I don't.
Fly
Why
Guy
do I have to
loves drama.
love
He
drama?
loves drama. These
I'm
topics are
fluent.
his topics. I
I'm
don't want to talk about
fluent.
this.
I'm fluent
I'm just saying I'm
in
fluent too, but I don't want to talk about it.
everything, brother.
Look,
I'm fluent.
hey Wanda, I'm fluent and I like to fluid. Fluid away
I'm
from me.
fluent in everything, brother. And here's the deal. Here's the deal.
He's still
While
talking
you're
about it.
talking about it, you're helping somebody.
Oh, okay.
I guarantee you, you're helping somebody. You're helping somebody.
You're definitely helping the
You're
internet with
helping
their
somebody.
memes.
So give us a call at 708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. And let us know your thoughts. Give us your feedback on the election. Give us your feedback on Harris versus Trump. Give us your feedback on U.S. judicial law versus international global law. We've given you a lot thus far this first 30 minutes. So give us your thoughts and your feedback. Once again, that's 708-223-8953. This is Real Talk, the intellectual podcast at Intellectual Radio and iHeartRadio. Of course, I'm your fly guy here with my main dude,
And I
Simeon
want to say what's up
Henderson.
to everybody that is. Somebody said, not you getting political. Yes, I am for once getting political. Don't like it, but I have to. But what's up to everybody tuning in? Nia ICL, one of the coldest R&B young ladies in the city, in the country, doing her thing. What's up to everybody? Aaliyah, everybody tuning in. Thank y'all so much. We are about to get to the person to person letter. I am excited about this. And I just want to tell you guys that the person to person letter is brought to you by our friends at Ralph's Cigars. Ralph's Cigars, where they specialize in cognac infused cigars. And today they sent us a special cigar. This is the pumpkin pie seasonal cigar. And they sent one for me and the fly guy. Thank you to Maddie and Kelly and Ralph and all the brothers,
Big up, Ralph.
Corey,
Big up.
Petey, Joey, Jackson, and am I missing anybody? Devin, all the brothers and everybody at Ralph Cigars. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you guys. We got the pumpkin pie, and it tastes delicious. Smell it, smell it. You got one. You got one.
That is good.
And it's seasonal. We know that it's Halloween this week, right? Pumpkins, Halloween, and then we're going into Thanksgiving. Pumpkin, we eat sweet potato pie, but people eat pumpkin pie
pie is
too.
good too.
Man, get up out my face
Dude,
with that. I'm not playing with
telling
you.
You so
Do not
urban.
listen to him right now,
Urban.
black people.
Pumpkin
He
pie
has
is
on a
good.
cheetah shirt.
Get you a slice.
He has on a cheetah shirt.
Get you
Is
a
that cheetah or
slice.
leopard?
Leopard.
I'm sorry, leopard.
It's leopard.
I like the shirt though.
It's
I like
leopard.
But big shout out to Ralph Cigars. Thank you guys so much. And we're going to get into the person to person letter. This is going to be a doozy. I'm pretty sure of it. So every week we have someone write in a letter and they want our opinions. They want our advice. And I'm just hoping they're not talking about politics because I'm tired of politics. So let's see what let's see what they're talking about. So what's up, Real Talk? You ready for this?
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, y'all.
I hope it's all about
Hey.
Kamala Harris.
Hey, look, this dude been gaslighting me today. We gonna fight on air. No, I'm just playing. This is my brother. So it says, "What's up, Real Talk? I will begin with saying I find the advice that you provide your listening audience to be solid and helpful. Thank you. Although this is my first time writing to Real Talk, I listen to your show attentively and find your advice applauding. Therefore, I became inspired to share my concern regarding my son with Real Talk. Real Talk. I suspect my 14-year-old son Jamal is being bullied by his peers at school. Jamal is a high school freshman. He's a straight A student. He's an introvert and academically focused. I overheard him on the phone telling one of his friends how he was in the bathroom at school and a group of upperclassmen came in on the varsity basketball team and began antagonizing him. According to Jamal, they were hurling insults and taunting him. One guy even threatened to video the episode in the bathroom and post it on social media to bring further embarrassment and shame to my son. Real talk, I'm protective of my son. I know I have to allow Jamal to grow up and learn how to defend himself. But if someone should put their hands on my son or cause my son to develop depression, I'm going up to the school as a parent from hell. I've heard You and Fly Guy indicate you both work with youth. I have also heard you and Fly Guy say you have a rapport with the school system. Is there an anti-bullying prevention campaign enforced with this school system? Real talk, please help before I put on the boxing gloves. I am that person. Signed, really ready, willing, and able to defend my son by whatever means necessary. Wow.
They, I don't know if that's the mother or father,
I
but
don't
they
know.
ready to go to blows for their
I
son.
think it's the mother
Why you think it's a
because she
mother?
said she gonna put on the boxing gloves.
A
The father
father
ain't gonna
can't put
say that
on
he's
no
gonna go
glove?
up there and whoop some ass. He ain't putting on nothing. He going as is,
Baby,
knuckles out. Probably gonna have a t-shirt.
thumbs up.
Hey, he gonna have his
Thumbs up.
knuckles out, Wanda. He gonna have on a wife beater. It's gonna be 40 degrees outside. His knuckles gonna be ashy, and he ain't gonna have on no socks.
Wow, you didn't painted a whole picture.
A whole picture.
A whole picture.
Because I didn't been that guy. You mess with my kids, I'm coming to get you. But
You went like that?
hey, ashy knuckles,
Do rag
everything.
on.
Because you want them to know you ain't playing. I'm going in the morning before I even brush my teeth. And I'm
Oh
getting
my
all up in their
God.
face.
Oh my
I'm getting
God.
all up in your. Hey, look.
Halitosis death.
Hey, if you don't pass out before I kill you with my breath, then I get a chance to hit you. No, I'm joking. But no, seriously though, they do have anti-bullying things in place. They have restorative justice and things like that in place. But what happens is you have to speak up. If you don't speak up, no one knows what's happening, and this can continue to happen. The vicious cycle continues because we let the bullies get away with it. And as long as we let the bullies get away with it, they will continue to do it. And you might be going up to the school with your boxing gloves on to defend your son. So you need to talk to your son, let him know that you know, and you guys need to do something about this, because if you don't do anything about it, it will continue happening. And what will happen is hurting people end up hurting people. So your son might end up becoming a bully because he's been bullied, or your son might get backed into a corner and he might hurt somebody so bad to the point where he could either kill them or hurt them really bad and put them in a hospital and have himself in a world of trouble.
Then they need to leave the young man alone.
I'm with
Whoever
you on that.
is bothering him.
I'm
First
with you
of
on that.
all,
But you have to speak up.
So here's where you speak up. Speak up once you're in the principal's office. If that was my son, you do what you need to do to defend yourself, and we'll deal with the consequences when we are confronted with them.
Yep.
But right now, a group of dudes don't have no business circling around my son in the bathroom, taunting him, talking about they gonna pull out a video camera and video. You can't video people, first of all, without their permission.
I'm not playing it. I'm coming up to the
Kids
school.
do crazy stuff and think that it's okay. And so I would have the conversation, with my son, the parent, whether you're the father or the mother. I'm not sure. You could be the guardian, whoever is responsible for this young man. Sit him down and let him know that you heard the conversation. First of all, make him aware that you're aware. After you've done that, then give him a non-judgment free zone.
Yes.
Where whatever he's feeling, whatever happened, he can talk free to you without being judged and without being chastised. And then equip him what to do in those compromising situations. If nobody puts their hands on him, he shouldn't put his hands on them. But what he does need to do is be equipped to put his hands on somebody if they should put theirs on him. Because people bullying goes extreme.
Yes, it does.
It's extreme. And then what happens is you have to learn how to bag people up off of you.
Yeah. They'll be trying to put the young man's head in the toilet, flush the toilet, put his head in there, trying to pull his pants
how
down,
you can
push him
give
out,
specifics.
and all because
it's interesting
I've been
how
there,
you
done
can
that.
be right. So you've been the bully.
No, I've been bullied.
And they put your head in the toilet.
No, see you going to he
I'm
doing
just
it
saying.
again. He doing it again.
I'm just asking.
He doing it
I'm
again.
just saying. You
No,
gave
I didn't
the
get
example.
I ain't get my head put in the toilet.
You gave an
I fought back.
example. You gave an example.
I work in the school system. I've seen it all, Fly Guy. I've seen it all.
You walked in the bathroom, they had somebody.
I've seen the kid soaking wet after getting his head put in the toilet.
Now, what did you do as a disciplinarian to the kids that did it?
I went and got the kids and I put forth the discipline that was needed after I said some
So
choice
does your
words.
school have a bullying campaign, an anti-bullying campaign, or anything that
Yes, they
this
do.
writer, the
Yes, they
person
do.
that wrote this letter? Okay, so does the principal get involved? Who gets involved?
The principal gets involved, the dean gets involved. Now they have what's called restorative justice coordinators that get involved and try to de-escalate the situations, and they have peace circles and all of that. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm
So
not
those
trying to
are the
be in, I'm
resources
not
that,
trying to be in a peace circle with somebody that's going upside my head 24/7. I'm just saying.
well, those are the resources that the writer needs to know, because you have to exhaust all your options. Like you said, hurt people hurt people.
Yep.
So before escalating the situation and making it something that it does not have to become, then we want to diffuse it as best we can. And so, writer, thank you for writing in and sharing that. We've all been there before. We've been teenagers, and we do work with youth. So thank you for
Fly
tuning
guy used
into
to get
that.
bullied all the time.
No, Fly Guy did not used to get bullied all the time. Now that's not fact,
I thought you told me you used to
but
get
okay,
bullied, Fly guy.
no, I never
No,
got bullied,
but
dude.
serious.
I was tight with the preppy kids and the thugs.
But serious, by whatever means necessary, you need to let your son know that you know. You guys need to go to the school. You need to talk to the principal. You need to talk to the deans, and you need to get a handle on the situation. Don't sit back and just let it fester and grow. You need to go and do something about this, okay? Everybody watching, you're watching a Real Talk podcast with the Fly Guy in Miss Chicago. You can call us at 708-223-8953. We love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the election? What are your thoughts on bullying? What are your thoughts on Fly Guy's shirt? Do you like this shirt? Let me know. I need to know, because if you like this shirt, I'm wearing one next week. But we need you guys to get in tune and continue to spread the good word, because we need real talk and we need conversations like this, because there's so many different things going on in this world, but we need some intelligent, intellectual conversations that can help us in different situations. And I'm letting you know right now, I'm tired of racism. You see my shirt. My shirt says black. Why? Because
Wanda,
I'm
he
black.
keeps saying he tired of talking about Trump voting, but he keep going back to racism.
Because I have to.
Boomerang.
I have to.
Boomerang.
What's going on? 345 Art Gallery. Corey, good to see you, brother. Good to see you. But
Now we invite you to trust us with your person-to-person situationship. You can write us at Simeon Henderson #9 at gmail.com. That's Simeon Henderson, the number 9 at gmail.com. Now we want to give you guys, as Simeon said, we always drop some gems. And Fly Guy is known for giving the top 5 things that you need to know. And today, the Fly Guy is going to give you some serious top 10 things.
That's too many things, Fly Guy.
Know. No, it's not.
10 things is
this
too
is
many.
gonna help somebody.
This
is gonna help somebody somewhere. If you're not familiar with, or if you've ever heard of the 10 rules of survival if stopped or approached by the police, I encourage you to get a copy of this, put it on your refrigerator, keep it in your glove compartment, and talk to your young people about it. Your nephews, your nieces, your grandchildren, your sons, and your daughters, if they're going to be driving at 16, 17, and they're going to have access to your car, our young people need to know how to govern themselves with a police encounter. The first thing I'll say is, if a young person ever encounters the police and they are not 18 years old, they do not have to speak. You heard Simeon early in the show talk about the Central Park Five, trying to coerce those kids into a story that was not fact, that was untruth, was to incriminate themselves. And if you're 18 and if you're under 18, you do not have to speak to the police until you have a parent, guardian, or legal counsel available to represent you. Once again, if you are under 18 and you have an encounter with the police, you do not have to speak until your parent or guardian gets there, or you get legal representation, because you don't want to incriminate yourself. Anything you say can be used against you.
Is that
now,
one of the 10?
Number 10, stay calm if you ever stopped by the police. Number 10, stay calm and remain in control. Watch your words, your body language, and your emotions.
Number 9.
Number 9, don't
we
make.
We gonna piggyback on this, because
Okay.
you ain't saying all 10.
Go ahead. Oh, now he want to get involved.
Yeah, I do. because I used to be a police.
Oh my God!
I used
You
to be a
notice how it
police.
always comes back to him and what
I
he
used to
used
be.
to do.
Yeah, I did. So number 9, don't make any statements about the incident until you are able to meet with a lawyer or a public defender.
That's what I just spoke about. Number 8, even if you believe that you are innocent, do not resist arrest.
Number 7, do not run even if you are afraid of the police. You might get shot in the back.
Number 6, avoid physical contact with the police. No sudden movements and keep your hands out of your pockets.
Number 5, do me a favor. Keep your hands in plain sight. Keep your hands where they can be seen and make sure the police can see your hands at all times. Don't give them any reason to say, he got a gun.
Number 4, always remember, Fly Guy told you that anything you say or do can be used against you in court.
Number 2, right? Is that number
Number
2?
3,
Number 3. Oh, number 3. My bad. I'm sorry. Don't under any circumstances get into an argument with the police. Guys, don't do it because you will not win that argument. And they will say you are being insubordinate and you are resisting.
Number 2, deuces. Remember that your goal is to get home safely. Use the above rules, which you'll see when you get a copy of this, to do just that. If you feel your rights have been violated, you and your parents have the right to file a formal complaint with your local police jurisdiction. I'm going to read that one more time because that's important. I just talked about that for young people under 18. Remember that your goal is to get home safely. If you feel your rights have been violated, you and your parent or guardian have the right to file a formal complaint with your local police jurisdiction.
Go ahead, Fly Guy. Do number 1.
Number 1, numero uno, be polite and respectful when stopped by the police. Keep your mouth closed. No sassing, no talking back, none of that. Simeon, isn't it interesting that we have to teach our young people the 10 rules of survival if ever stopped or approached by the police, but other cultures don't seem to be familiar or have to think about this at all?
They don't
Why is
have these
that?
problems, Fly Guy. They do not have the same concerns and issues that we have when it comes to dealing with authority and law enforcement.
So what changed with the police department? Because police, it says to serve and protect.
What do you mean
So
what
why?
changed? It's been the same thing.
No, it's not. Hold on, let me finish. No, it ain't. Because when I was growing up, I didn't have to be worried. My parents didn't teach me this. I didn't have to learn this. When I was growing up, the police were friendly. They were respectful. There was a relationship with police and communities. I didn't need to learn. I never saw this. I'm seeing this as an adult. I didn't see this as a kid.
Were
So
those black
something
police or white
changed.
police?
They were all cultures of police. They were police from various backgrounds. So in order for this to have been produced, something changed along the way. Would you say that, Wanda?
I would agree that there has been incidents that have caused that to be needed. I do feel like when I was younger, we saw the police as being friendly, there to help us. When we saw them, we felt protected versus like one of you mentioned fear, like don't run if you're afraid of them. You would never, at least when I was younger, you wouldn't run from the police.
Yeah.
You didn't think of them as somebody to be afraid of. But things have happened. I can't name names of the victims of police brutality.
Well, there was George Floyd. There was
Yeah.
there was Breonna Taylor. There was Michael Brown. There was so many.
But even before that, the things. So speaking to what you were saying, what has changed? What has changed is that people started shooting at the police. People started fighting the police, and what happened was people started getting lawless with the police.
So when people started doing that, did people feel a sense to retaliate because they were feeling victimized by the police?
I don't know. I wasn't
So
there.
that's what seems to be the problem.
But what about no? But
I don't. There is none.
There's
I
no
agree.
respect.
But I think that the reason why is because communities feel that the police are not there to support them. They're there to incriminate them. Automatically, when the police go into Inglewood, they see everybody is guilty. Everybody is wrong. The six guys standing on the corner that could be talking about how they gonna come together and go look for jobs, or they gonna start a business, because they standing there in wife beaters and jeans, they're
Okay,
seen as a
okay,
threat.
okay. Well, let's keep it real though.
Because people get their profile.
Let's keep it real
Their
though. Let's
profiles.
keep it real though, Fly Guy. Them same people you talking about, they out there shooting and robbing people
That
and
doesn't.
selling drugs.
Everybody that looks like that is not
No.
doing wrong. I wear a wife beater and jeans and a
But you don't
baseball
stand on
cap.
the corner with five guys.
No. Here's the deal. Listen to what I'm saying.
I'm just keeping it
If
real.
we happen, the
Sometimes
point
we
I'm
do it to
making.
ourselves.
The point I'm making is, if we happen to walk up on each other in the same neighborhood, and we just happen to be standing and holding space here, and because we are black men, what we're talking about could be how we all raising our sons. It could be a number of things.
Yeah.
But the fact that the police see us standing there in a circle, and they see the way we look, they prejudge us.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what prejudice is.
That
So that's the
happens.
point. That's the point I'm making.
That
So
happens.
there's lack of trust.
Yeah.
There's no relationship.
But-
And so now when police come into communities, people feel like they need to defend themselves,
But-
and they're retaliating.
But on the flip side of that,
Police have brought some of this on themselves.
oh yeah, but on the flip side of that, Fly Guy, we have a lot of incidents happening that shouldn't be happening. On the flip side of that, we do. And that's a reality. And I'm talking to my people. We have to do better, because if we do better, we don't have to worry about a lot of that stuff, because a lot of the things that has happened, we've been a part of it. And I'm talking because I know this. And I know this because I've been attacked by my own people. I've seen people that look like me be attacked by people that look like me. So what happens is, what's going on nowadays, it's so prevalent, and it ain't like it used to be.
Correct.
Right? So now they use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, everybody's like that. But everybody's not like that. And so I'm with you on that. But there's a lot of things that happen that we can avoid. We can avoid. If we know that, I know 9 times out of 10, some places I'm going, whether they black or they're Hispanic, if it's a bunch of them standing on the corner, they got their hats broke off, they selling weed, they smoking weed and all of that. So now it's like, oh, what are they doing? And now the police, they not from our neighborhoods.
Right.
They already scared.
So then
Right?
you shouldn't be a police officer.
Let me finish. They already scared. I don't think they should be policing our neighborhoods.
I don't think you should be a police officer if you're afraid to go into battle when you signed up for that.
And you definitely shouldn't be policing our neighborhoods, because the fact that you're already scared is going to make you elevate situations that should
only
be
be black people in black neighborhoods. Like, who should be
we
policing
should have,
our neighborhoods?
We should have more people that look like us policing our neighborhoods, because we're from there and we understand that. What you said, if you got 5 guys just standing right there, they could be talking about their kids, they could just be chopping it up, kicking it, they probably ain't seen each other in a while, and they just having a good time. And then you got prejudiced cops or people that don't understand roll up on them and trying to put them on the wall or put them on the ground or knocking them upside the head, and they that's not even warranted.
No, you're exactly
so
right.
I'm with you.
It's not justified.
I'm
it's
with
not
you on that.
justified. But whatever you do, make sure you get a copy of the 10 Rules of Survival if ever stopped or approached by the police. This could be life-changing. I can't guarantee that at the end of a police encounter or an experience that it will go in any particular way. But what I can do is equip you with the tools to govern yourself and follow the best practices that will get you home safely.
Oh, we know you can't. We know you can't assure that, because we've seen people get hemmed up by the police and they weren't doing nothing. We seen police go in somebody's house.
Exactly.
We seen some police go. They're supposed to be protecting and serving the person, and the person they're protecting and serving that called that's having an issue are the people that end up getting shot. That's crazy.
Yeah. They stood in Anjanae's house while she was getting dressed. She's nude with a sheet wrapped around her, and they didn't even have the decency to leave. They just stayed in there.
So what do you do?
But as I stated, I can't guarantee what the outcome will be, but I can equip you with the best practices and the tools to safeguard yourself so that you can get home safely. This is Real Talk, the Intellectual Podcast. 708-223-8953 is how You can dial in and you can continue this conversation
How can
with
we get that
Simeon and
list?
I.
How can we
We
get the top 10 list? Where can we
so
get that from?
you can get the top 10 list by going to 10 Rules of Survival if stopbythepolice.com. I believe that's where you can find it at and
Or
you can
just Google
download it.
Google
And you
10
can
rules of
Google it
survival.
as well. You can Google it as well. And I also believe that it's one for anti-bullying as well. Simeon, what's going on in sports talk, brother?
Oh, finally. God, I'm so tired of all this. Oh my God. I get drained talking about all the bad stuff happening in the world. Whew. Good Lord. Man,
Where do you
sports.
live?
I mean, you know I live in Chicago. That's why I'm tired of it. Look, it's all around us. You turn on the news, you go out your door, you drive down the street,
What's
and then
going on in sports, brother?
well, what's going on in sports? Let's say this real quick. The White Sox are the worst MLB team of the modern era. They lost 120 some games. How do you lose? I could have been playing for the White Sox this year and we wouldn't have lost 120 some games. Fly Guy in his shirt could have been playing
I could have been
for the
pitching.
White. Yeah, definitely could have been pitching. So yeah, so shout out to the White Sox and hopefully you
What
get it together
about
next
that
year.
Hail Mary, dude?
Oh my God, the Bears. I am so hurt right now. The Bears had the game, and let me talk about Stevenson. Stevenson was cheering and talking stuff to the crowd right before that last Hail Mary,
Exactly.
and they threw it, and he was the one that didn't knock it down. Brother, don't
Instead
talk.
of throwing the ball down, he tapped it up and dude caught it.
Brother, do not talk crazy until there's zeros all across the board because we lost that at the last second. And I want to say this. Right now, the World Series is going on, the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I got the Dodgers winning. So I hope they win. but
LA.
but
Come
that's
on, Hollywood.
game 4 is going on right now. But there was a lot of upsets in football. There was a lot of victories, and we'll get to that next time. But
My Lions defeated them tight.
hey, the Lions are for real.
The
The
Titans
Detroit Lions are
52-14.
the Detroit Lions are for real. So you better look out for the Lions.
Yes, yes. And the freaks are coming out on Thursday.
The what?
Halloween. Trick or treat.
What are you going to be for Halloween,
Trick or
Fly Guy?
treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat.
I do not want to smell your feet before I eat something good, Fly Guy. But what are you
I don't know.
going
I
to be for
might be a
Halloween?
construction worker. I don't know.
Oh, I got the outfit.
I know.
Okay, I
I
got
know
the
you
outfit.
got that.
You know what?
that.
I'm gonna be
I
Fly
might
Guy.
build a bridge.
Can I borrow one of your? Can I borrow
You
one of your
can,
outfits?
brother.
I'm gonna be
You
Fly
can.
Guy for
That's
Halloween,
gonna be
y'all.
the best costume.
I promise y'all.
Be the
If he let
best
me,
look.
if he gives me an outfit, I will be Wanda. I will be Fly Guy for Halloween.
That's all right, brother.
So
Give your inspiration, partner.
I can't. I can't even think of it right now.
Can't think of his inspiration. Listen.
Oh, I got it. I got it. Oh
All
no,
right.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, Fly Guy. Go ahead.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like I told you last week, in the words of my good brother Tupac Shakur, keep your head up. It's important that you keep your head up because times are looking gray, and I know that the world seems to look like it's in shambles for a lot of us for a lot of different reasons. In a lot of ways we're embarking upon the uncertainty, and we're actually in some really crunch times right about now. And so whatever you're feeling, whatever anxiety you have, give it to God. Honestly, give it to God. Talk to God about it. God would love to hear from you. And always, always remember to have a little talk with Jesus and tell him all about it, because just a little talk with Jesus always makes everything all right.
And remember, let it go, guys. Let it go. Whatever it is, those people, the naysayers, the doubters, the things that's been holding you back, no matter what it is in your past and your present, let it go because it's time for you to move forward. And that's the only way that you're going to be successful. That's the only way that you're going to win. And that's the only way you're going to walk in your purpose and achieve your dreams and your goals. You got to let it go and just be you. Fly Guy, Mr. Chicago, we out. Real Talk Podcast, Intellectual Radio, iHeartRadio. Tune in, and we'll see you next time.
Simeon said,
Let it go.
Party every weekend, but still like to smoke it on.
Here I am.
Here I am.
Peace, y'all. We'll see y'all next time.
Here I am.
We out.
Here